Two California lawmakers are taking a critical look at the barriers and benefits of the state's paid family leave program. That program provides 6 weeks of partial wage replacement to care for a newborn or a seriously ill family member. Now, next July, the number of weeks of paid family leave will increase from 6 to 8 weeks. Still, with those changes, Assemblywoman Lorena Gonzalez of San Diego and Senator Hannah Beth Jackson of Santa Barbara argue that this program is not realistic for many low and middle-income families. For more now, I'm joined by Assemblywoman Gonzalez. Thank you so much for being here. Why isn't this a viable option for families of all income levels?
Well, like you said, it's a partial income replacement. So even minimum wage workers only get 60% of their salary if they go out on paid family leave. So most of us who've had children know that's the time when life gets most expensive. And it's hard to get by on minimum wage, but to get by on 60% of that if you're a single mom or if you're a low-wage working family household, it's going to be tough to simply say, well, I can stay home getting 60% of what I'm used to getting. The other barrier is that not all jobs are protected leave. So if you work for an employer with under 20 employees, that's about 40% of our workforce. Then you actually don't have the guarantee that your job will be there when you go back. So although you might want to take that leave, you might rather have your job upon return.
Okay, so how can the program be better?
So there are examples throughout the United States and in other countries where we can have income replacement get closer to 90% of the woman or man's income. I think that that's an obvious way to ensure that lower wage workers can actually take it. And then we can ensure that every job is still available to that worker if they go out on leave. That's something we've been battling for a while. It used to be simply a federal program that allowed for workers that had a company with over 50 employees could have job protection. We want to bring that number down to ensure every worker has job protection when they have to go out on leave.
So if you're talking about potentially giving people more money, is there, in fact, funding available from the state to do that?
Well, that's one of the things we have to talk about. I mean, actually, the paid time off is paid for by the workers. There's about a 1% that's taken out of our paycheck. And what's happening now is these low-wage workers are paying into it, but not being able to actually gain the benefits from it. So they're subsidizing higher-paid workers' leave. That 1% stops being taken out of our paychecks if we make over $117,000. One way would be to increase that for higher income earners to make sure that 1% continues to get taken out. We could look at employer contributions. There's no employer contributions in California to this point. Or we could look at government subsidy of the program. So those are all things that we need to take in consideration as we want to extend this, not only by time, but to ensure that actually low-income and middle-income women and men can take it as well.
The governor has set a task force to audit this program, and we expect to find out more about those findings next month. What are you hoping to see in this audit? And again, the big key takeaways for people and this program and potential changes?
Well, I just hope that we see that as we extend the number of weeks available, which we want to do, we need to do. 6 weeks is not enough. We need to get to 12 weeks, that we ensure that it is equally accessible for all workers. A woman who makes minimum wage, a woman who makes $40,000 or $50,000 a year who cannot get by on simply 60% of her income should also be able to access family leave. Also, those workers who don't have job protections now, that has to be part of the protection as well.
All right. Assemblywoman Gonzalez, thank you so much. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.